The S23 Ultra is by far the best phone Samsung has ever made, but right now in 2023, is the S22 Ultra a better option? Let's talk about it. What up, guys? Welcome back. So today we're talking about the S22 Ultra and why this is, I think, a better option than any phone Samsung has to offer right now. If you remember last year, this device here was the phone of the year for a lot of people, not just techies, but on a lot of news sites and different places. You're gonna find that the S22 Ultra was the best phone for them. It might not be the best phone of the year for you, but it is for me. And I love this phone. I still have it. I haven't gotten rid of it. And as a matter of fact, I got rid of my Fold 4 and my S23 Ultra, and I went back to the S22 Ultra for a few reasons, but the main reason is the user experience on the S23 Ultra compared to this phone was no different at all. Mine is something like, on the S23 Ultra, I don't have to charge my battery every day. Where here, at the end of the day, I'm gonna have to charge it most of the time. So battery life, even though they're the same, 5,000 milliamp batteries in both, battery life is different, more efficient with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 on the S23 Ultra compared to the Gen 1 here, much more efficient when it comes to battery and battery drain. That's my biggest downfall with the S22 Ultra. It just dies on its own. It just drains battery on its own. If I'm sitting it down overnight, it will drain at least 20%. But saying that, like, that's the one negative with this device is the battery. But remember, I'm comparing it to probably the best battery in a phone today, one of the best batteries in a flagship phone on the S23 Ultra, which you're getting 2 days of battery life, just about. Here, still, 1 day of battery life you will get on the S22 Ultra. Now, another comparison is the look. The overall look of these phones are so similar, you know, the average person will not tell them apart. If you are that type of person that needs the latest and the greatest and you want to be seen with the best phone out there, well, the S22 Ultra will still give you that. It is still one of the best devices out there on the market today. And it looks very similar in just about every single way to the S23 Ultra. We got the branding on here, which I don't believe we have on the S23 Ultra. We'd have some bigger lenses on here, but you know, your normal everyday person is not going to notice the difference in the size of the lenses. The edges are different on these two phones, but other than that, a lot of the same things are going on here. 6.8-inch QHD AMOLED display on both. They are the exact same display. We get the same speakers on it, the same 120 hertz refresh rate, the same RAM, the same IP rating, the storage. The storage is, the only difference with the storage is on here on the S22 Ultra, we do get a 128 gigabyte option. Some of you don't care for that, but if you want to save a buck, you can go down and get 128 gigs of storage. And then the rest are the same across the board, 256, 512, and 1 terabyte on both devices. The minimum, though, on the S23 Ultra is 256, which is where I think it should be, but you do have another option if you care about that on this device here. Now, the colorways, the matte finish, colors on both, I love. The S Pen on here, if you are a Note user, if you are a Note fan, you know about the S Pen on both of these devices. You are going to be able to use them. The S Pen is awesome. So I do like writing with the S Pen, even though I don't use it to its full capability. The S Pen, let's be real, it's just a nice option to have. If you're signing documents, and a lot of you that own a business or are a creator, you got to sign some agreements, some documents, and it does come in very handy for something like that. But I'm a big fan of the S Pen and look, my favorite phones of all time were Note phones, and this is a Note. It's a Note, hands down. Call it what you want. This is a Note phone. The S23 is a Note phone. If it's got an S Pen, it's a Note. If it's got the squared off edges, it's a Note. I love it. I'm here for it. I hope they continue. These are my favorite devices. Now, if carrying a brick in your pocket and something that feels heavy is a problem for you, well, both of these phones are basically the same size, a little difference in size, but basically the same. We do get the same display, but the S23 Ultra does feel much heavier than the S22 Ultra. But let's talk about the photos on here. So look, if you were to go photo for photo, video for video, they're going to be very comparable and very close. The S22 Ultra, like you see here, still takes really, really good photos, really, really good video. It's just a fantastic camera for both video and photography. And the front-facing cameras on here are a little different. 40 megapixel on the Galaxy S22 Ultra, and only 12 with an f2.2 on the S23 Ultra. But, you know, again, you're going to be hard pressed to tell the difference. 200 megapixel on the S23 Ultra on the rear camera compared to 108 on what we have here on the S22 Ultra. And then you get the ultra wide, you get the telephoto, and then you get the 10x telephoto on both of these devices. Again, 120 hertz refresh rate on both of these. Now, another big thing that is going to separate these devices is price. I mean, what can we get an S22 Ultra for right now? Well, in the used market, you can literally get this phone for around 550 bucks to 600 all day long in good condition if you know where to look. And if you want me to show you how to do that, let me know and I'll make some videos. I've said it in the past. The only person that's ever replied, Barry, I see you. I know you want me to do it and I should do it. Next device I buy, next phone I buy on eBay, I will show you how I do it and what I'm looking for from a seller when I'm buying. But 550 to 600 for an S22 Ultra, this, make no mistake, is still a flagship device, hands down. Now, this isn't going to be a very long video. This is just my opinion on what is a better buy right now in Samsung's ecosystem if you are looking for a phone. If you are upgrading to a new device, if you have an older phone and you are looking to upgrade, look, if you got the money, go for the best, the S23 Ultra. But you don't have to because the S22 Ultra is still a monster today and it looks almost identical. It's like the little brother to the S23 Ultra, but using this thing day-to-day performance-wise, you're not going to notice a difference. You're just not. The only difference in performance over the course of a day will be the battery compared to what we have on the S23 Ultra. And a lot of you, I know battery is important, but you're still getting a day on the S22 Ultra compared to a day and a half, 2 days on the S23 Ultra. But performance, everything about this phone, the speakers, these gaming on here is going to be a little better probably on the S23 Ultra, but you can still game, play Call of Duty, Asphalt Racing on a phone like this all day long without any issues. It might get hot if you are playing for an extended period of time, but this will handle any game out there. It is that powerful and it will remain that powerful. Remember, it's only a year old. You're getting updates still. You're getting security patches. You might have to wait till after the S23 gets it, but you are going to get it. So overall, this is my go-to phone right now for me. If you're trying to save a buck and you want a flagship phone, the S22 Ultra, hands down, all day long. But that's it. Just talking about the S22 Ultra again. 1 year later, more than a year later, still a beast. I still recommend it. More so to save a buck because it's, you know, basically half the price right now of the S23 Ultra, and you're not getting half of the experience. You're getting about 90 to 95% of the same experience you're going to get on the S23 Ultra, minus like battery life, and that's basically it. But that's it, guys. I'll be back soon. Peace.